New accusations in the Hillary Clinton email scandal that could have huge ramifications throughout the 2016 campaign, a day after we learned that her server has been turned over to the FBI. Investigators saying the intelligence sent to Clinton's personal email was highly sensitive, but that the top secret designation was somehow removed on some emails before reaching the private server. This, as we're learning, some of the emails reportedly contained sensitive information derived from spy satellites. Fox senior judicial analyst Andrea Napolitano called the Justice Department's possession of Hillary's server her worst political nightmare. Listen.
If someone removed the markings, that's a felony. If someone removed the markings to help Hillary have plausible deniability, that is a criminal conspiracy to violate the espionage laws of the United States. 24 hours ago, I characterized Mrs. Clinton's legal situation in this respect as grave. Today, worse than grave.
Hillary's Republican opponents pouncing on the latest email revelations. Scott Walker and Bobby Jindal among those saying a criminal investigation may be warranted. And most Americans appear to agree. A new poll showing a majority, 52%, think Hillary's emails should be subject to a criminal probe. But her camp fighting back, firing off an email to supporters defending the former Secretary of State that says in part, quote, "Look, this kind of nonsense comes with the territory of running for president. We know it, Hillary knows it, and we expect it to continue from now until Election Day." So, Bo, should there be a criminal probe based on the facts that we know today?
You know, my business is investigations, and we're missing one little thing here, because now all of a sudden the cover-up is starting. It reminds me of something in the 1970s when the cover-up was worse than the crime. Now what you have now, you have the FBI with full subpoena power. Who would I go to? I'd go to the CIA, lay on them. I would go to the State Department, lay on them. I want to see what emails you sent to Hillary. And if it said top secret on top of it from them to her, it's obvious that's what they were. So the point is, reverse engineer this. See who sent them and when they were sent. And
that's the key.
That's the key right there. Everyone keeps missing it. I don't care what Hillary does. She could keep erasing them. She could take her, because that computer could be erased and destroyed the hard drive. I don't care about that. I want to know when the State Department, the CIA sent sensitive top secret information to Hillary on her server. Let's get it coming that way, and we'll get it.
Do you think that we'll ever get that? Do you think we'll ever get to the bottom of that?
Well, I think my friend President Obama wants to come to the truth on this one. And I think he's irritating a little bit. Certainly he's irritating this a lot more than he did with the IRS investigation.
But still,
this one hits close to home, because he would have had to have had knowledge or given some sort of agreement for her to have that private server, or somebody on his staff, unless she did it on the sneak.
Right, but the point is, if you have top secret information like that, they're told when they come into office, when you're handling this, you cannot do that. And she's an intelligent enough person. She's not above the law. The Clintons think they're above the law. Everybody thinks they're above the law. This is when they're going to come home and they're going to have to pay for it. And my thing is, it's so obvious where the signal is. Get to the State Department. Get to the CIA. What emails did you send?
I think it's amazing how this story is unfolding. You read the Washington Post story. The fact that these documents originated with the CIA tells you something. Now, I would imagine the CIA is not happy that the State Department threw them under the bus for Benghazi, Libya, and that their leader, General Petraeus, was ousted for for the exact same crime, by the way. So think about this, Sandra. The CIA went to congressional intelligence committees. That's huge, and said, here are the documents. And Bo's right. They know who the State Department was communicating with, because they have all the emails. And by the way, they had satellite photos, wiretaps, audios. It's incredible. If Hillary Clinton did not know that that information was classified, then she is incompetent. So for her staff to say that this is nonsense is completely false. I think that she is in huge trouble.
It's even deeper than that, though. The dereliction of duty arrow will begin to point in her direction, because she directed other people to look at those emails. What were their security clearances?
Exactly.
And did they have the ability?
Does Huma have
did they have the ability to look at the material, as you suggest? She should very well, with all of the experience she's had in government. She ought to know what a classified or a top secret document or wording would look like. But did the people that she tasked to look at those emails, would they have known without those markers to tell them? What was their level of clearance? This looks shady.
Well,
But
and
it's
she's getting
shady
away with it
lady.
because she's saying when she sent this information, it was not stamped, it was not marked classified, top secret information. However, like you said, it was top secret information. These are lives that are at stake. We have men that died in Benghazi because of mistakes through email.
Isn't it going to be funny when we get a CIA? It has to be closed door, has to be very secretive. When we get communications from the CIA and the State Department and it says top secret, then all of a sudden on her computer it's erased. Duh.
Yeah.
That's a cover up. That's another felony.
before
The
we see that?
CIA is playing CYA with Capitol Hill.
Well, I think they all are.
I mean, it's astounding. Same with the FBI, the DOJ. This isn't the vast right-wing conspiracy, and she's handling this wrong because she's a hopelessly paranoid attorney. She's acting like an attorney. She's doing lawyerly things. She's not doing things in the best interest of her campaign because she thinks
This
she's
is
always
an
above
easy
the law.
investigation.
Ainsley, she's not a criminal attorney. And so for Rudy Giuliani on the Fox Business Network this morning, I was watching, for him to call for a criminal attorney,
Absolutely.
that it's time for her to hire one. What goes through your mind?
So this poll, though, isn't showing the same feelings that we're having on the couch. The poll shows that the American people in this Monmouth University poll, they want the criminal probe. They want the criminal investigation. They see reason for that. But still, when asked about the whole purpose here, they don't believe that she was acting shady or acting in a way to hide something.
The problem is the American view is the majority don't understand where we're going with this.
But they're starting to.
This is now it has to be brought out on the legalities of it. What are we talking about? We're talking about sensitive stuff. She was told, she's the Secretary of State. You can't run that through your Apple laptop. You got to run it through secured sourcing. And if she acts like, oh, I didn't know it was top secret, and then all of a sudden we find communications that it doesn't say it on it anymore, we got a real problem. And you got the cover up now. It's going to be the worst part of this.
You're going to have to go back, like Bo was saying, to the people that she sent these emails to.
What? Who sent it to her?
Well, the server, they did check out her server. They picked up the server. The feds picked up the server 2 days ago, and they checked it, and the server was totally cleared. Also, what was interesting to me, they asked an Islamic State hacking group if they would be able to hack into her emails, and they gave a 2-word answer. Yes, probably.
China and Russia probably has them as well.
Absolutely. We had investigations. Some of our major corporations have been breached by China. And you know darn well if they could breach these big corporations like Boeing and the Pentagon, they could certainly breach Hillary.
I think
Gmail
it's
account or
interesting
whatever it
how
was.
we know the information that Ainsley just gave, though, because this Denver-based firm, this computer firm, is how we know. They talked with the Washington Post and said, you know, that server is going to be blank. Because the Clintons asked us to pick it up from their basement not long ago and transmit some of the information off of it. So it'll be blank.
Yeah.
But they're looking now, I would suppose,
where are the
tracers.
origins? Yeah, let's get the origins.
They hired the same company that they picked up the server from. They hired that same company the Clintons did 2 years ago.
And
to upgrade
we've talked
their
about this
server.
on the couch, these quid pro quo deals, suspected deals that Hillary Clinton was doing. Sidney Blumenthal was giving her information, intelligence information on the ground. When President Obama said, you can't hire him as an official advisor, she did it anyway. So at best, Sandra, she is completely incompetent, which I don't think we want an
Why isn't she changing her
incompetent
message
leader.
at all? The State
worst,
Department,
she's a liar.
Her camp, they're
And
not
corrupt.
even starting to hedge in their responses. They're still holding to the same exact
I'm
statement.
opening an office in Beijing, China in the next couple of months. I'm going to try to buy this information before the election. I'll have them come to my office in Beijing, China. Whoever has this information, I'll buy it.
There you go.
Interesting.
We'll have an
Well,
auction on that
what you're
number.
talking about, too, is what journalists do. You want to triangulate the information around her.
Exactly.
You want to come up with your solid 3 sources around her. Now, the CIA and others have a better chance than we would because they can subpoena. They can go to judges. And we could do it, too, through FOIA. But the top secret information in those documents would never be, we wouldn't have privy to that.
And it's very, we don't want it personally for the public to know it, but we want it in a closed door with top secret what the emails that went to Hillary from the CIA, from the State Department, what they said. Were they top secret? And if they were and all of a sudden they disappeared, I mean, there's your smoking gun.
Sandra,
what else you need?
To your question, why doesn't she change the message?
Yeah.
Because she never has had to before. Every scandal, she points to the right. She says, vast right-wing conspiracy. I had nothing to do with this. Remember, it's a private matter.
She's still doing that. Her
running
letter.
the same plays. The difference is, this is the Obama FBI and DOJ.
Google the
and
letter that
CIA.
she sent
it's
out
not
to
the
her
vast
donors.
right-wing conspiracy.
It is a perfect line. What difference does it make with 4 Americans that got killed? What difference? That's her attitude. And you know what? She should be tried and she should be charged and let her go before a federal grand jury and answer those questions under oath. We'd have perjury.
Oh, boy. It takes some gall to give them a blank server, though.